Hey guys, what's up? It's your girl Lot Goddess. Welcome back to my corner where I inspire others to dream more, live more, and become more. So if you are on this video and you have not seen part 1, I'm gonna need you to click off, go back, watch part 1, and come back. Okay, because it ain't gonna make sense unless you've seen part 1. All right, okay. So anyway, in today's video, y'all, we're gonna be continuing to 5 more tips that I would give you guys if you are in a long distance relationship and you want to know how to survive it. So without further ado, we're just gonna jump right into it. Like, y'all, we're not really even gonna give the girls too much fluff. If you looked at my first video and you enjoyed it, then I truly believe that you're also gonna like this one as well. So speaking of like, make sure that you give this video a thumbs up and share it with some of your other girlies that you know who are in long distance relationships and they need some tea, they need some advice for how to make it last forever and ever. Y'all know I can sing. So I'm gonna just jump straight into number 6. Again, if you have not already seen part 1, make sure you go and check it out and then come back and watch this video. But getting into number 6. So my number 6 tip to surviving a long distance relationship is to appreciate the in-person visits, okay? So I think my number 4 tip from my last video was to make sure that you guys visit each other in person. So with number 6, I would say make sure that you appreciate those moments that you guys are together, okay? I know that a lot of times that may feel like, you know, that's the opportunity for you guys to talk about like some really heavy topics, or maybe you want to use that time to bring up like a really sensitive topic that might make y'all get into an argument. Maybe something happened, blah, blah, blah. Listen, the time that you guys have together in person is obviously going to be pretty limited. So you don't want to focus on the negative, okay? So don't use that opportunity to, oh, when I see him, I'm gonna call him out about all the stuff he did. No, this is not the time for that, okay? Especially if this is you guys' first time meeting together in person. Like, don't be real nitpicky and, you know, like find little things to argue about. Be present and be in the moment, because the reality with long distance is that if you work or he work or y'all work or whatever the case is, you do not have the luxury of really spending like months and months in, you know, their city or their country or something like that. So 9 times out of 10, you're gonna be visiting them for like 1 to 3 weeks at a time. My whole point is make sure that you guys really value that in-person time, because obviously it don't get to come around often. I feel like the average long distance relationship, depending on like where you live and where your partner lives, y'all might get to see each other twice a year if you're lucky, but most people I feel like really only get to see each other once a year. And so when y'all are together, you want to appreciate those in-person moments. Like, make really beautiful long-lasting memories, take all kinds of pictures. If you're a vlogger, make sure you're vlogging the experience. Even if you don't post it on YouTube, like just have videos for yourself, because those are going to be the things that hold you over when you guys are apart from each other again, because it's not easy. Listen, y'all, if anybody told you that long distance was easy, they lied. I'm sorry. I'm here to tell you that they told a big fat lie. It is the furthest thing from easy, but I promise you the reward at the end is so worth it, especially if this is the right person. Explore the city or explore the area that you guys are in. Don't just be so focused on just staying up cuddling under each other. Don't get me wrong, you can definitely make time to do those things, but really get out and create those beautiful memories, so then that way you guys will have so much stuff to talk about. Like when y'all both go back to your home countries or home cities or whatever, you will have so many things to talk about. Like, hey, oh my God, I really love that we did this and did that. Like, take pictures, even if you feel like you look a mess or you look crusty or whatever the case may be. Like, these pictures and videos are gonna be just for you and your partner. You ain't gotta show TikTok, you ain't gotta show Facebook, Instagram. These are all very intimate moments. So if you don't take pictures and show nobody else, make sure you take pictures and store them in your phone, because I promise you, that's what's really gonna matter the most once y'all are apart again. Watch what you watch. Stay off social media, however you want to put it, okay? I cannot tell you guys how many times women, like mainly women, I'll be honest, I haven't really ever had a guy ask me for advice about long distance. A lot of the women who have come to my DMs, they have said things like, oh girl, I don't know if I should trust him. I saw this thing on TikTok, or I saw this thing on Instagram, I saw this thing on Facebook. You literally, like, there has to be a boundary, okay? If you get too wrapped up in another woman's experience or another guy's experience about what happened to him or her, you are not gonna have the ability to make your own judgment on your partner. So you're gonna start believing these things, you're gonna start seeing all these different opinions or all these traumatic experiences that happen. These people who were long distance, blah, 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 and they're like, oh, don't do it. Girl, that's gonna be the worst thing you could ever do. First of all, you don't have to receive that over your life, sis. If you're a person of faith, you know, you can pray about your relationship and just ask God to just sustain your relationship, and whatever is meant to happen is gonna happen regardless. But if you allow like those negative and those outside forces come into your like space and into your relationship, it can really deter and like make your entire judgment towards your relationship completely misconstrued. Like, I promise you. For example, like, y'all know, anytime I come on camera and I'm giving y'all advice about like Nigerian men, or if I'm giving y'all a story time, I always tell you guys too that this is just one experience, okay? So this is not to say that every single guy that you date that's long distance is gonna be this horrible person, or every single African guy that you date is gonna have a family in his home country and he gonna cheat on you, or he only gonna use you for a green card. Like, that's not the case, okay? Listen, let me tell y'all, I have some very good friends who are in beautiful relationships with their partners, okay? I'm talking like after being long distance for 3, 4, 5 years at a time, they're together now, they got kid, like either a kid or multiple kids, they're married, and they're good. Like, life is good. Life's good, you know what I mean? Like, don't listen to everything that you see online, because that could really make or break your relationship, honestly. So I really hope that like my platform is a place where you can come and get the true tea. But I also don't want it to be a space where you guys think that like, oh, because Life with Loc said don't do this, I'm just gonna stay away from them. Like, no, that's not the case. Make your own judgment, but my whole point is that social media is gonna be just that, okay? So it's gonna be from the perspective of the person that you're watching at that time. So just because this was one person's experience doesn't mean that that's gonna be your experience, you know? So yeah, tread very lightly when it comes to social media, okay? So number 8, I feel like is another tip that's like one of my favorites that I feel like is super duper important, and one thing that helped us a lot. The number 8 tip to surviving a long distance relationship is you have to have the end goal in mind. If you are just dating a person online and y'all are not making any plans for next steps, and they don't have to be major, like huge next steps like marriage or nothing like that, but the next step can legit be meeting each other like for the first time in person, or visiting each other again for the second time, or just anything like that. Honestly, like, you want to make sure that you have the end goal in mind, because that's what's going to sustain you when it gets really tough. Like those days where you feel like, what's the point of even doing this? Having the end goal in mind and having a set plan, like, okay, we know that it's June 2022, so I know that by June 2023, I want my partner and I to be in the same state or the same country or whatever the case is, right? You have to make sure that you have that end goal in mind, because if not, you're just gonna be dating this person and it's gonna be years and years that's gonna go by, and it's not gonna be any true progress. So you wanna make sure that you're looking at the end. Like, can I actually see myself with this person? Like, if the end goal is for y'all to ultimately be together, be married, living, you know, under one roof, I would say break that down into smaller goals. So your first like mini end goal can be meeting up with each other at least twice a year or something like that, or whatever that looks like for you. But I would say having the end goal in mind really just encourages you to keep going, because if you focus too much on the present moment, you're not really gonna make no progress. You see what I mean? The thing about having the end goal in mind is that if you don't, I feel like somebody gonna get tired, okay? Like, somebody's gonna get tired, somebody's gonna be over it. So you actually have to have something tangible to say, all right, look, in 6 months, we know that this is what we're working toward. Like, if y'all both put your heads together and you know that this is the end goal, I just feel like, you know, yes, the distance is hard, but it makes it a lot more manageable because you guys are on the same page about where you want to go in the end. Woo, this next one, baby, hold on, we gotta take a drink, I gotta tread lightly with this one because I know you girls like to tussle. Number 9, have your own life / your own routine. Like, I feel like this is a very, very, very big one, to be honest, because this is even like in a relationship where you're not long distance. This is just like still for even regular relationships and long distance. But having your own routine and your own life, I feel like is so important, because if you make this relationship the center of your life, I feel like number 1, it gets really toxic, and number 2, it gets very much creepy. You want to make sure that you have your own life. So make sure that you're just focusing on yourself, you know, maybe have like like your exercise classes that you go to maybe 1 or 2 times a week, or if you got book club, or if you are in school or something like that, or if you want to pick up a new hobby, maybe go like hiking, just lots of like self-care, and just doing like different things that like cater to you and make you feel good inside and out. Because, you know, while our relationships make us happy, our relationships, they should not be the sole foundation for our existence. Does that make sense? Like, so just make sure that you're doing things outside of your relationship, because that also will kind of give you guys something to talk about. Like, okay, if you had a long day where you were able to go hiking, or you went to brunch with your friends and family, or just did different stuff like that, you'll be able to come home and tell your partner like, oh my God, babe, I had such a good day. Let me tell you what I did. And then boom, that leads to you guys having a discussion about your day. So if you notice that maybe this person seems like they're a little too invested and they don't really have an outside life, or if you feel like, okay, ooh, she kind of speaking to me a little bit, like I'm watching my phone 24/7 to see when his message is coming through, and if it's not coming through quick enough, I need to know why. Like, who you with, where was you at? Sis, that's too much. Like, go find you some business, pick up a new craft, like reading. There's legit so many things that you can do, and I feel like this is also a very good opportunity for you to just really also spend time with your family and friends, because the reality is that the distance is there. There's nothing y'all can do about it in that moment. So rather than trying to be so engulfed in your relationship, you have to find things to do outside of your relationship, because that's the only way that you're also not going to get too tired. Like, if y'all are spending 25 hours 8 days a week on the phone with each other or on video with each other, it's like somebody gonna get tired. I'm telling y'all, I done seen it happen. So just make sure that you and your partner both, like if you're noticing that that person just kind of seems like they're investing like a little too much time, you can gently like just, you know, kind of say like, hey babe, like, I don't know, you know your partner, everybody know their partner. And if you notice that they have just completely dropped off from everything that they used to be doing, like this could also mean that when you get in person, this person might be very possessive and they might not want to let you go nowhere or do nothing. So that's like low-key a red flag. So that's something to keep in mind. And last but not least, my final tip for surviving a long distance relationship is to surround yourself with positive people, because it's gonna be really easy to want to give up. Honestly, a long distance relationship, again, is something that just doesn't feel very attainable in that moment, because it's like, oh my gosh, you don't really know when you guys are going to get to be together again, right? So the idea can be very draining. So if you're spending a lot of time with your family, with your friends, and going back to my last point, if you're spending a lot of time doing things that you really love doing, that's what is really going to help sustain you, especially because we know that long distance is definitely not for the weak. So if you have people who are, you know, constantly encouraging you, telling you like, girl, you got this, if you really love him, you want to make sure that you surround yourself with positive people who are really going to pour those positive thoughts into your head and keep you going. And yeah, that's it. Okay, so that is going to be all for this video, guys. I hope that y'all enjoyed part 2. Like I said, if you haven't seen part 1, make sure you go watch that one first. Then if you've made it to the end, hopefully you feel a little more equipped when it comes to dating in a long distance relationship. My prayer is that we all make it. Okay, I want everybody to make it. If you in long distance and you feel like, oh my gosh, I don't know if I can do this no more, hopefully this video is your sign to just keep going. If you love him, if he loves you, or she loves you, you love her, whatever the case is, thug it out. I promise you it is going to be worth it. Okay, so yeah, if you guys like these kind of videos, let me know. I can most definitely do more, speaking from experience. And that is going to be the end of this video, guys. Make sure you give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe if you're feeling the vibe, and I will see you guys in my next one.